Hi there. So, my name is Ali, and I've got a website called psychicali.net. I've been reading the tarot cards for over 30 years now, and I went to a class back when I was very much younger, and I basically found that I either go to this class or I study by myself, because I found that I was picking up on things that didn't quite resonate um, with the teacher, and I feel that it's you've got to have the right teacher for the right for your personality. And so that's why I thought, right, okay, so I'll sit at home, and I bought every tarot book there was back then, and I kind of read through, and I looked at what there was all saying about the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Four, and then the Pentacles. I wrote down all their variants about what they were saying about the Ace of Cups, and then I went into which was the common denominator. Okay, what theme were they giving for the Ace of Cups? What was they all getting at? And then I created what I felt as well with the Ace of Cups to do with the decks of cards that I'd got. And that's how I created the booklet. Okay, Tarot Cards Made It Easy. So, and that's the booklet that I teach with now. I believe that you can all learn with just a very small information about each card. You do not need pages and pages of writing, okay, to illustrate what the Ace of Cups is, what the Two of Cups is. Okay, so basically that's kind of my background. I was kind of given also a manual from somebody else that had gone to a tutor, and a pack of tarot cards, and they were the Mythic deck by, I can't remember the name. I think I've got it here actually. So the Mythic deck by Juliet Sharman Burke and Liz Green. So I was given that deck, and and that was my first ever deck. Although that my deck was, they weren't purple back, they were black, and they were the older version. There's a new illustrated version of them out now. I'd love to be able to get hold of the original one again, because I think I gave mine away. I can't remember. I think I did. So anyway, so that's kind of so what I did was, from this manual I then taught myself, and then I incorporated my own energy into it. So I then started to teach classes, and that's not just with the tarot. I taught classes on psychic development, and helped people to open up their psychic side, which I feel everybody has, their psychic intuition. It's all there for them. We're born with it. That's how I feel. As a baby, we're in tune with the mother's energy. So if a mother is stressed, we feel that stress in the womb. And then as we're born, we're psychically connected to mum. And then it goes into different phases as we kind of go to playgroup or we go to school. And when we go to school, our kind of psychic ability dulls down a little bit, because we're then taught not how do you feel about this, we're taught this is the fact for this is the fact for that. So, I mean, and we're taught to not listen so much to that intuition side. So that's why it dulls down. And then as we go into the teenage stage and our hormones start to change, then they open up again. And sometimes that's why a teenager energy becomes paranoid, because they're picking up, their psychic ability is really vibrant, and but they're not sure about what they're picking up, whether or not someone's talking about them in a good way or a bad way. Other people's energy, they're picking up on people's sadness, they're picking up on all sorts of things. So it's like they're literally open. So if there are any teenagers out there who are feeling this kind of energy when they're walking through the schoolyard, or they're picking up then please don't think that you're going mad. What's happened is your psychic ability is wide awake, okay? And the best way that you're going to feel any better about this is to visualize yourself in the middle of a bubble, okay? Before you go to school, visualize yourself in the middle of a bubble. Inside this bubble is think of the happiest moment of your life. Think about something that made you laugh. Think about something that boosted your confidence. Okay, and feel the love energy fill up that bubble. Okay, and then I want you to place mirrors facing outwards all the way around the edge of this bubble. And so the next time that you go to school, you'll feel that much more detached and you'll feel stronger. Okay, and people can't hurt your feelings as much. Okay, because you've kind of, you've shielded yourself and protected yourself from their energy. So I would definitely give that a go. Or if you've got a child and your child is having trouble with school, or you feel that that might be the case, then get them to visualize that sort of thing. Okay, believe me, they might be more open to it than you realize. Okay, even if they laugh at you later on, or in those dark times where they're going through that, I think that they would definitely do that. Okay, they would definitely, pick up on that, and they would shield themselves. Okay, so what I wanted to do was do an introduction to the tarot. So what I'm planning is to give my interpretation of many different decks. Okay, so the first deck is the one deck that I feel the most connected with, which would be the Cosmic deck by Norbert Loesch, and then I'll go through all the other decks. But this is just an intro. Okay, so tarot. Okay, so you get a packet of tarot cards. Okay, and there's 78 in a deck. Okay, that's in a normal deck of tarot cards. There are actually 82 in the Tarot of Dreams. Okay, and they have an extra card which is Palace. So if you get those cards, I'll explain when I go through that deck. I'll explain exactly what I feel the Palace means in all those. But the majority of them, it's about 78 cards. Now that is then split up into two sections. Okay, so two main sections. One is the Minor Arcana, which is 56 cards, and that's the minor events in your life. And then you've got 22 cards, which is 0 through to 21, and that is the major events in your life. Okay, it makes up your 78. So then you've got the Minor Arcana cards. Now the Minor Arcana, the 56 Minor Arcana cards, are then very similar to a deck of playing cards. They are they split up into 4 sections. Okay, and this is why you can use playing cards to read the tarot. You can use those. So sometimes if I'm at I don't know, a party or a gathering and I haven't got my tarot card and somebody wants a reading, I can pick up a pack of tarot cards and do a reading like that, as you guys can, as soon as you understand the concept of which suit connects with which tarot suit. Okay, so yeah, so you've got 4 different sections. They are cups, which is linked to love in all its kinds. So that is love to do with emotions, family, friendships, love of romantically. So any sort of love energy, that is your cups. And then you've got your pentacles. Pentacles is linked to finances. Okay, so it's finances. So that would be anything like study would come up with that. Study or learning. Study, learning, teaching. It would be also career paths, anything like home, that would be also connected with the earthly energy. Okay, and then you would have the wands, which is linked with fire, desire. I desire something, I want something, I'm fired up with it, because it's the element of fire. Then you've got the swords, which is the element of air, which links with your thoughts, your ideas, your inspiration. Okay, so that's all to do with air. Okay, so cups is linked with water, which is emotions. Pentacles is linked with earth, which is money, finances. Wands is linked with fire, I desire. And air, and swords is linked with air, which is ideas, inspiration. And so those all connect together. Okay, so when you're reading cards, you need to kind of look at your layout in front of you, and there might be lots of major arcana cards there, and that would be basically telling you that there's lots of major events going on in that person's life, that there's a lot of life-changing things happening. If there's a lot of minor arcana, then there's a lot of minor things happening. So there could be kind of little bits and pieces that are building up to, you know, the major events. Okay, so you can actually start off your readings just by looking at the major and the minor arcana and the numbers of them. Okay, so we go back to the minor arcana. So the minor arcana are then split into 4 sections. Those 4 sections are linked. So we start off with the cups. Cups linked with water, emotions, love, finances, love, the love of family, the love of friendships. Okay, any sort of love energy. Okay, so that will be the ace to the 10 of cups. So that's ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And that would be the story of love. Okay, so that would be, you know, the beginning of meeting somebody or wanting to meet somebody. The 2 is meeting somebody. The 3 is celebration. The 4 is doubts. The 5 is isolation. So there's all different emotions that will tell you a story of love. But that love story has to be connected not just to romantic love, but to everything else. Okay, so that's ace to 10, tells you the story of love. And then you have 4 cards that are the court cards. So again, very similar to playing cards. You have the ace to 10, don't you, of hearts. Okay, that would be the hearts. So cups is hearts. And that would be, but there's only 3, isn't there? There's a Jack, Queen, King, okay, in a normal deck of playing cards. But with tarot cards, you have a princess or a page, knight or prince, queen and king. Okay, so that's what you would have. Now, cups cards are also, some of them are chalices or bowls. Okay, so that's another name for that particular suit. So the 4 cards are personality cards. Now, the personality cards, it's easy for me to say, I'm picking up on somebody new coming into your life, okay? But without having a personality, it could be anybody. It could be, you know, your neighbor. It could be, you know, somebody just moved in next door, just what I mean, who's of no consequence to your future, really. Okay, but yeah, so if you've got a personality, you're gonna, it's gonna bring the reading alive, isn't it? So, so they're your court cards. Now, they all link with water signs. So if you've got cups, it's to do with water. If it's pentacles, it would be earth signs. And that's Taurus. Well, cups is Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancerian. If you've got the earth signs, so that's pentacles, that would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. If you've got the fire signs, which would be wands, that would be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And if it's air signs, which is to do with swords, that would be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Well, because there's only 3 and there's 4 court cards, there's always one card that doesn't connect to the birth signs. Now, that would always be the most immature card there, which would be the princess or the page. Okay, so the princess or the page would be the teenager energy, the immature energy. It doesn't have to be by age, so it could just be an adult that is acting like a teenager, or a person acting like a teenager. Okay, so that would be the raw energy. So that's always going to be, so to do with cups, that's to do with emotion. So what is a teenager like with when they're first in love? And that would be feeling naive, looking at love through rose-colored glasses, being excitable about love. My love is deeper than anyone else's kind of energy. Okay, so that would be the princess. The princess or the page of pentacles would be a teenager with their first wage packet. Okay, that would be that they just spend it, just spend. A teenager, so that would be the princess or page of wands, would be the, I want it and I want it now, is that energy. And I'm going to throw my toys out my pram if I don't get it now, or I'm going to sulk. Okay, so that energy is immature energy to do with fire. Okay, wands. Or you've got the swords, which is to do with ideas, inspiration, living inside your own head. Now that would also link to, a teenager who first has that everything has to be perfect, everything has to be done a certain way, or, I've got to look perfect. Everything's got to be, I've got an idea, but my idea is better than anyone else's. Do you see what I mean? So it's always that immature energy, and then you link it to the sign. Okay, so that's quite easy to learn. And then the other three are then all the birth signs. Now, the reason why I will always use Cosmic for teaching, although I encourage everyone to have their own deck when I teach a class, and it doesn't matter which deck it is, okay? The only thing that you have to make sure that you have is that each card has an illustration on it. Now, it's no good having 1 cup and then 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups, or 1 pentacle, 3 pentacles, 5 pentacles. It has to have an illustration. It has to be telling you a story. Now, if you've got just that, that's very difficult. It's a bit like playing cards. If you've just got the five of hearts, so that would be the 5 of cups, and then you've got to try and remember what your 5 of cups illustration was. What was that telling you? But without that illustration, it's just 5 cups. So that's the only thing. You have to have an illustration on each card if you want to seriously learn the tarot. If you just want a pack of tarot cards and you just want to read from the book and not actually learn them, then by all means, the ones without illustrations, they're going to be fine. They still work. But to learn them, you will need a proper deck of tarot. But the reason why I choose Cosmic Deck by Norbert Loesch is because with the court cards, it's all done for you, okay? And believe me, that makes it a lot easier. Okay, so you've got the ace to the 10, okay? So you've got the ace, and then it goes through the cards, and they're all telling a story. You can see they're all telling a story right the way through, and then you get to the 10 of cups, okay? And then you get your 4 court cards, okay? So your 4 court cards with Cosmic, you've got the princess, you've got the prince, you've got the queen, and then the king. Now, the reason why I'm going to show you, okay, so the princess is always your teenager, so you can put that one out of the way. So now you've got to decide which one of these cards, and they all differ, apart from if you're using these ones, they all differ. So you've got to look for your Scorpio, your Pisces, or your Cancerian. Now, I'm going to show you the cards so that you can see that it's all done for you. Okay, look closely. So you're looking for a Scorpion, for Scorpio, Pisces, the fish, and you're looking at Cancerian, which is crab. Okay, so you can see they're all done for you. Okay, and that's the same with all of the suits there. Okay, otherwise you've got to lay your court cards out, obviously not the princess or the page, you've got to lay them all out in front of you, and then you've got to decide, you know, does that one look like the personality of a Pisces? Does that look like the personality of a crab? Does that look like, you know, you've got to then decide. And the quickest way, I mean, because they're quite hard to learn, out of all of the when you're learning the cards, the hardest thing to learn and to keep it in your head is the personalities. Okay, everything else you can, you know, pretty much do well with, just what I mean, learn. But yes, the personalities, that's why I do them in levels. So level 1 is going through all of the 78 cards. Okay, so going through all of those, all the personalities, and then we do maybe a little bit on connectives, just I mean, or layouts. Okay, and then level 2, we go over a lot. We go through all the cards again, but or quicker, and then we go and concentrate on the personalities. Okay, and we delve into that more, and we kind of do that repetitive learning. Does that make sense? So over and over again, just what I mean. So this card means this, and this card means that, because I believe that's the only way that I learn. I learn best when there's humor or laughter around. I can't teach seriously. I'm not ultra professional. I will, you know, you will learn, okay, and you know, most of the people that I've taught could be professional now if they wanted to be. So, and you know, so that's level 2, and then you've got level 3, which is then learning how, you know, what 3 cards mean together. You're concentrating on the layouts, maybe creating your own layout, understanding more about kind of the wording to use and how to be professional. And then the professional level is then getting you ready to read for the public, getting you ready, looking at different ways that you can give a better reading, okay, and create your own style, okay. And I help you to do that. So there's the different levels, okay, to do with it. You can't learn the whole thing in a session. There are some people out there who are intuitive readers, and they just needed a little bit of insight into their particular deck, and then they're going to carry on, and it's like they might not remember all of the cards, but they'll have that little background thing. So this is why you know, some people can do one lesson and then go off and read cards. Now I will say that you have to have that feeling of whatever you say is powerful, even if you feel as if you're being flippant and you're kind of mucking about, and you know, you're just, you know, laughing things off. Be careful, because this can have a very big effect on somebody for the rest of their life. Now that seems as if I'm being dramatic, but I started up an agency called Guiding Angels, and each of those angels signed a code of conduct. That code of conduct meant that they would not be telling anybody about serious illness or worse. And that is because, you know, my dad, bless his heart, now in spirit, was told that he was going to pass away early in his age. And that worried him for the rest of his life. He nearly didn't marry his second wife, because he felt, well, he's not going to have very much longer to live. So what's the point of marrying her only to leave her? So that's how much of an effect it can have over individual people. So yeah, you've got to be responsible for what you say, and that's all part and parcel of the courses that I run, so that people can learn, you know, those things. People should feel uplifted when they've come for a reading as well. They should feel buoyant and happy. Okay, so I think that's kind of the basics, okay, to do with the introduction. So if anybody would like to sign up for lessons with myself, please contact me on Psychic Ali 121, as the numbers 121 at gmail.com. And I'll let you know when the next course is, okay? When the next lesson is. I don't charge exorbitant amount of money, okay? And if anybody is struggling financially, please contact me and I will sort out another way, okay? There's always a way to do this, so please don't be put off, okay, by that, okay? It's all energy, okay? Energy is, it's a vibration, and you put out the right vibrations and you put out kindness from your heart, you're going to get that back, okay? So I believe that's it. Yeah, if you've got any questions or anything, you are welcome to contact me. And if you would like me to review a deck of cards that you've got, just contact me as well, and I will have a go at that. Okay. Okay, that's it. Okay. Take care, and I'll speak to hopefully some of you in the very near future. Okay, take care. Bye.